This episode of Bullet Heaven HD was made possible by Hyperreal. In episode 123 of Bullet Heaven HD, we took a look at One Ship, Two Ship, Redshift Blueshift, a PC-based amalgamation of shooting gameplay and breakout-style action elements all blended into a super smooth game which was not only made in 2 days, but was also a game we really dug. Redshift Blueshift made its way to Steam on September 24, 2015 under its new publishing name Hyperreal, heavy on the Ys. With a whole bunch of new elements and features, is Redshift Blueshift worth the double dip? Let's take a closer look.
0, 2.
Now, we took a pretty close look at Redshift Blueshift very recently as it is, so as far as basic gameplay mechanics go, you can check out the main episode linked below. But here's the skinny. In Redshift Blueshift, players take on an opponent one-on-one in pong-style combat. The background will change color to that of the ship who's going after the ball. Miss the ball, your opponent scores a point. They miss, you get a point. Easy. Controlling your craft is speedy and simple. While keyboards can be used, controllers are the preferred method of input. Everything you need to pay attention to is your color, making things pretty easy to keep track of. Power-ups can be shot to yield missile attacks to slow your opponent down, enemies which track them, and shields to prevent being hit by enemy projectiles. And that's pretty much all there is to it. There's obviously heavy emphasis on local two-player versus gameplay here, but in the Steam version specifically, players can unlock new difficulties for the single-player game. New ships are also unlocked in the Steam version as well. While the basic ship has a larger reflex surface, slow speed maneuver, and a double cannon, the unlockable Varen ship has a smaller reflex surface, a smaller cannon, and a hyperdash. Of course, there's also the ordinary missile with its absurdly tiny reflection surface and no real advantage against bigger craft. The Steam version of Redshift Blueshift also has full controller support, meaning that the D-pad is finally usable on Xbox 360 controllers. There are also more options available, specifically with the additional difficulties unlocked through normal play, but there are also other options like pilot taunts that can be toggled on or off. Again, local competitive play is emphasized here with a total lack of online play. Online play could be pretty awesome if properly done, maybe with a win-loss leaderboard of some kind, maybe in a sequel. Regardless, this is still a game that people can play using its 3, 5, and 10-point rounds to settle scores and feuds. Really fun stuff.
Points.
Like the original release, there's not a whole lot of emphasis on scoring in the main game. Simply outlasting your opponent will get you the points, to a maximum of 10. However, in the post-game, how thoroughly you destroy your opponent will get you points based on your performance. The higher the difficulty and speed, the higher the score. It adds a challenging, competitive layer to Redshift Blueshift solo gameplay, especially on Shazbot difficulty.
Are you ready?
Another main upgrade to Redshift Blueshift is in its presentation. There's a whole lot of extra audio in the game, specifically in respect to point scoring. A new announcer belts out who scores what against who and rallies players with match point phrases. The music has also gotten a nice upgrade too, with rich sounding tunes in addition to the already great OST that was present in the original release. The title sequence in specific really stands out. In regards to the audio quality of the taunts and phrases, there is a very clear difference between the announcer clips and the taunts. The original VO clips make a return in the Steam version of Redshift Blueshift, which are a little heavy on the mic in terms of breath and pop. Thankfully, Hyperreal has stated that future recordings with better equipment could be in the cards soon. As of right now though, the voice clips are still more than sufficient. The visuals in Redshift Blueshift have also gotten pretty big overhauls. Shots are more stylized, shields have cool animations, explosions are more pronounced, and the Hyperball has a ghostly trail showing its trajectory better than the original release. Even the title looks cleaner. In addition to all of the audio-visual enhancements, extra Steam features have been added as well. Achievements, trading cards, and leaderboards are all present. Redshift Blueshift is a pretty sweet game that has evolved into a pretty great overall package with its extra features, but how does it stack up? Let's take a look.
You should go back to flight school.
Tiebreaker. Red is the winner.
With added digital control in addition to the analog inputs, Redshift Blueshift on Steam is great for all players. The heightened challenge from more difficult bots should satisfy solo players, while versus matches are only as hard or as easy as your opponent's skill level. There's a lot of staying power in Redshift Blueshift, especially with all of the meta IRL applications for it, like bet winning, tie breaking, argument settling. I guess Daerun and I really take things to the extreme. Redshift Blueshift on Steam has an extra layer of sweet retro gloss with a slightly new age shine. Sweet. The added sounds and announcer voice in Redshift Blueshift on Steam works super well, though the original VO for the pilot taunts are still present. Future updates could be incoming though. Redshift Blueshift on Steam is still super awesome with great replay value for all. Still the best crossover shmup we've played yet. Once again, One Ship, Two Ship Redshift Blueshift is at the top of its game with a uniquely awesome hook that will surely have players coming back again and again for good times, tournaments, dares, bets, parties, and I'm sure so many more things that I can't possibly list here without going on forever in a day. Redshift Blueshift on Steam gets a 4.75 out of 5. Now, one thing that may catch players off guard is Redshift Blueshift's price. It's about $9 today, up from its original $2 price tag. But you know what? It's still totally worth it.